G'day all again, and welcome back to Dad vs. Son and our playthrough of Scenario 33. We go from the Paratroop pack for GMT and Chad's Combat Commander. And we're about to go on with the Americans' turn. So last video we took out Objective 3. This rifle squad of the Germans came back, took out Objective 1. So the Germans hold Objective 1 and Objective 4 at the moment, and the Americans control the rest. The Germans have lost their sergeant and their lieutenant, a rifle squad, a weapons team, a heavy and light machine gun, and the Americans have lost Sergeant White, 2 paratroop squads, and their light mortar. Victory points are at 3 for the US at the moment, and we have no secret objectives. So what we want to do is get in here to 4 and just kill Germans. So let's see what we can do. We finished the Americans last time with an artillery request that they can't use, and they've picked up a fire, a move, an artillery denied with a dig in, another fire, and another move. No advance. So I think what we want to do is we want to get some bodies into Objective 2 just to hold it. And we want to start moving up towards trying to take out Objective 1 as well, and maybe knock him out. But the first thing I think is we'll secure Objective 2. And what we're going to do is move with this fella. But before we move, we're going to use our smoke grenades just on the off chance. And we're going to throw it into Objective 2 just to give us a little bit of extra, just some hindrance. And we end up with 4 smoke. And we move in there for 1, 2, 3, 4. And we are good. Now the Germans do have a fire. So they could fire on us with 6, 7, minus 4 is 3 into there. But that's the only fire they have. Is it worthwhile? And I think it is. So he's going to be in there for 8, 9, 10, 11, minus 1 is 10. So we're going to be 3 against 10. And he doesn't have anything to add to it. So is it worthwhile? No, I don't think so. Okay. So the Americans have 2 more orders they can give, and they have a move or a fire. So I think what we might do is we might fire into here. So that's what we're going to do. Our second order is to fire, and we're going to fire for 6, 7, 8, 9 into here. 6, 7, 8, 9 into there with nothing to help. Let's see if we can knock him down a bit. But that's not going to help much at all. 12. And he's in there for 10. And 10 is 20. So no, that was useless. Which leaves us 1 order we can give. And I think we're going to move And what we might do is just bring this bloke up and around now. So if we go up here for 1 and then jump across here, he can see us, but that's fine. So we go 1 to there. He can see us, but he has his fire. He would fire for 5, but we're in there for 10. So again, probably not a great idea because he's got nothing to add to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. Now he'd fire, but it's still for 10. 5 to 10. Is it worth it? No, I don't think so. I'd rather keep it for this guy maybe trying to fire on these ones if they're trying to come up. But yeah, so he comes over 1 more to here. Again, same thing. And this bloke now, can't see him. He couldn't see him there either. So that's it for the Americans. And we're back to 4 new cards for them. And then we have the Germans. Now they have an advance, 2 recovers, and fire they can use. Now, advance-wise, what they could try and do is advance up to here. Is that worthwhile? Probably not. So an advance is really not going to help them. They really want some ambushes for when these guys advance into here or something. So I'm going to get rid of the advance and I'm going to get rid of the artillery request. I'm just trying to decide whether to get rid of one of the recovers as well so that we can try and get some ambushes and stuff like that. And again, I think it's worthwhile. I'm going to get rid of 1 recover. So we're going to get rid of those 3 cards for the Germans. 1, 2, 3. And we're back to the Americans with artillery denied, artillery request, rout, fire, recover, fire. Okay, so we don't want to rout anybody. We can get rid of the 2 artilleries, and I think that's fine because we're ahead at the moment. We don't need to do anything really spectacular. So 1, 2, 3 new cards for the Americans. And the Germans now have a recover, a fire, a fire, a fire, and a rout. Again, they don't need the rout. I'm thinking of getting rid of one of the fires as well. We've just picked up an ambush for the Germans, but don't tell the Americans. So I'm going to get rid of 1 fire and a rout, try and pick up some more ambushes. So we'll get rid of those. So 2 more for the Germans. We go over to the Americans with 2 fires, a recover, a move, a rout, and an advance. Okay, so we are going to advance. And we're going to advance these 2 into here and this one into here. Dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Okay, so the Germans have an ambush, which they're going to play. Now the Americans will take it on him, because if they take it on this guy, they will only have 4, 5, 6. Whereas if they take it on the lieutenant, they have 7. So 7 to 5. Not great, but better than nothing. Okay, so defenders with 5 plus 7 is 12. And attackers with 7 plus 7 is 14. And an event which is battle hardened. One American becomes a veteran. Okay, so who do we want to make a veteran? And let's make it Lieutenant Ray. Okay, so the rifle is destroyed. That's this penultimate loss. The Americans get 2 VP for that. They've taken objective 4, which is worth 4 VP. So the Germans lose 4, giving the Americans 9, and the Americans gain 4, giving them 13 VP. Okay, so that can go. That was our first order. Our second order, I still want to do a recover, but I think our second order is going to be a move. And we are going to move these people minus him. So this bloke is going to go 1, no line of sight. 2, 3, 4, and we now have a line of sight. And he decides to fire. He's opportunity firing for 5 into there. It's not great, but I want to get the opportunity fire for when these start to move anyway. So we have 5 plus 8 is 13. And he's in there for 10. And 9, he's fine. He can't go any further other than into here. And then I could always bring these ones up to here, and then we have a fire group. So he's going to go 1 more. Again, he fires for 5. Plus 5 is 10. He's getting a bit spooked, and again we're there for 10 and 7, 17. And an American event, hero, if not already in play, place American hero in friendly hex, rally up to 1 broken unit there. And now the American hero is already out, so we can't do that. Okay. So he's fine. Righto, so then we're going to move these guys, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3 to there, and we have no line of sight. And then they're going to go 4, 5, 6 into there, and there is no line of, and he fires again for 5 into there. Yeah. Plus 6 is 11, and we have a German sniper. Is any good? D9. No, he's not. Okay, so our first little man is in here for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Plus 6, and Lieutenant Ray is in here for 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 3, and he is fine as well. So we have 1 more command we can give. So we could do a recover, and I think we will, just in case he ends up getting blown away by a sniper or something. So we will recover as our third order. He's in there for 13. And he is good to go. Right. So that's the Americans' turn over. And they'll get 3 new cards. And the Germans have 2 recovers and a fire. They don't need to recover. Do they want to fire? And again, at this stage, I would say no. So they're going to get rid of this recover with spray fire, because the other one has a hand grenades, which may come in handy. So they're going to get rid of that. Again, what they're looking for is ambushes and so forth. So they're going to take 3, which leaves them 1 card in their deck. And we're up to the Americans with 2 fires, a rout, a fire, a command confusion, and a dig in. So they're going to get rid of those 3 cards. Get 3 newbies. And the Germans recover, fire, advance, fire, fire. Okay. Okay, so the Germans need to try and do something to get this back, and the only way to do it is to kill Americans. But again, this bloke can only fire for 5, and he's in there for 10. Do we have anything that can help? And we have nothing. So we know they don't want to advance at the moment, that's for sure. We do need to keep the recover, or in fact, we do have that. So if we advance and maybe pop some smoke and then hope for another advance to get into here to try and take him out, that's all I can think of. So we're going to advance. We're going to pop smoke before we advance because we have the square around the movement for the rifle. And let's see what we get. 5 smoke. Okay, so they advance up into there like that. That's their first order. Their second order. Again, what we need is an advance again, and we need a ambush or something. So I am going to fire with this guy just because I can. So again, we have 5 into here with nothing to add to it. +9, look, ambush. +9 is 14. And this guy's in here for 10. And 8, he's fine. That's it for them. And they have no cards left, so they have to draw a new hand. I'll shuffle up. Okay, they have shuffled. So we move the time marker up to 5 of 7. VP marker does not move. There's no reinforcements. We have to remove 1 smoke, so we'll remove their smoke rather than ours. Not that it makes any difference. The 5 smoke is still hindrance for both sides if they were firing. Dig-ins, the Germans have none, which is a bit of a pity, and the Americans have none as well. So they get their 3 cards, and we're back to the Americans, who have 3 fires, an artillery request, a fire, and a recover. Okay, so they don't need to recover. So we might put some fire up here. What can we do? What can we do? Not much. So we will fire. Okay, this will be our lead unit here. So we have 7, 8, 9, 10 into here. Or do I want to just fire him first and then fire with them? That might be the better bet. So we're just going to fire with this guy first. So we have 6 into there with nothing to help. +5 is 11. This is just to use cards. And he's in there, of course, for 10. And 7, so he's good. And we have a German event, which is sappers. You may remove 1 mines or wire marker. There are no mines or wire. So all well and good. And then we fire from here for 7, 8, 9 into here. +4 is 13. Yeesh. And again, he's in here for 10 and 6 and is fine. Okay. Righto, so that was our first order, which was to fire into here. We're going to just fire into here for something to do again. To use cards to try and get an advance and some ambushes. So again, we're firing for 6 into here. -5 is 1. We have 1 recover with hand grenades. Do I want to use it? And I think the answer is, I don't really. No. So we're just firing for 1. +2 is 3. And they're out here for 2. Cover. So, yeah. So it's all going to come down to events and shit. So the rifle team's fine. And the corporal is fine. And we have a sniper hitting at M7, which is over here and does nothing. And that's it for the Americans. And they get 2 new cards. And we're over to the Germans. And they get an artillery request, a cover, and an artillery request to go with their recover and fire. So we'll get rid of the artilleries. We'll get rid of this recover and get 3 new cards. The Americans have 2 fires, a recover and an artillery, and pick up a recover and an artillery. We're going to get rid of the artillery. The recover we just picked up, and we're going to get rid of one of our fires because we only really need 2, not 3. We'll get 3 new cards. We want an advance. 1, 2, 3. Germans, recover, fire, advance, artillery denied, and command confusion. So I think they've got to try it. So they're going to advance into here, attacking the paratroops. So, okay. So the paratroops, do the Americans have an ambush? And they do! They've just picked one up. Ta-da! Okay, so the Germans again, if they decrease this guy, they go down to 3 and 1 is 4. If they do the corporal, then they stay on 5. So they'll do that. So that's 5 to 7. So defender first, 7 plus 8 is 15. And 5. Okay, so 10 will kill everybody, and 11 or 12 will win it for the Germans. Here we go. A 12, and the Germans win. Yay! But we do time first. Okay. So, righto. So we do time. We go up to time 6 of 7. We remove smoke. We have nothing, no reinforcements. We're not at sudden death. We're 1 short. And we go for dig-ins, and nobody has any dig-ins. So that's that. Paratroops die. That's 2 VP for the Germans, taking the Americans back down to 11. And the Germans now hold objective 2 again, which isn't actually worth anything at the moment. But at least they hold it. Right. So we shuffle up the German hand. They have 1 more order they can give. which of course is going to be their recover. So they do their recover. We're in here for 11. And they get a 7, which is great. And the event is reinforcements. Ooh. Okay, so he's back. Okay, roll on the German reinforcements. And we get a 7. Righto, let's grab the German reinforcement table. And we're in 1944 for 7. So we can get Sergeant Pfeiffer. Yeah. We can get a light machine gun with a weapons team. A weapons team with a mortar. A rifle squad. A 150mm radio. Okay, so the only person that we have that can call in artillery is him. Yeah, if we lose him, we're rooted. So what's best? So if we bring in anything else, it's going to come in on the German map edge, which is the southern edge, which is a long way from him to bring on the sergeant. So I don't think the sergeant's, well, yeah, the sergeant's not really all that good. A light machine gun with a weapons team. Well, if we brought the light machine gun on here with the weapons team, it could eventually move up into here with us, which would give us 2 light machine guns and a full hex full of people. And I think as much as I would like the radio, I think that's the best way to go. So a light machine gun and a weapons team, because this is really going to come down to firepower and melee. So he's going to come on here like that. Right. So that's it for the Germans. They get 2 new cards. And we're over to the Americans, who now have 2 recovers, a fire, a move, and a command confusion. Right. A fire, a move, and a command confusion. We only need to knock out 1 German for the game to be over. So I'm wondering if we should just suck it up and move these guys over to here. That's still going to give them 1 cover in here due to this. And I think that's worthwhile. And then we're ready to go. So we are going to move. Before we move, we're going to use this recover. Oh, no, sorry, wrong one. We're going to use this fire for smoke grenades. So we're activating over here. We're throwing some smoke into there, and it is 4 smoke into, 7 smoke into here. Righto, so these guys move into here like that, and he can fire. Now we know that they have 1 fire, and they've picked up another fire, which is gooder. So they are going to, he's going to fire, and he's going to use crossfire. Yeah, is that going to work? Is that going to be enough? So that would be 7. And he's got 5 and 2 is 7. So no, he can't fire because that'd be a 0. So he is not going to fire into there. This guy moves up now to there. That's 1, 2, 3. And he can fire. So this is where he is going to fire and use crossfire. So he's firing for 5, 6, 7 into here. Nothing else he can use. Plus 6 is 13. Not great. And this guy is in here for 8. Plus 2 is 10. Minus 1 is 9. And 8 is 17. And I think that's as far as he can go. Right. So the Americans have moved. That leaves them 2 recovers and a command confusion, so they can't do anything more. And they'll get 3 new cards. And we're over to the Germans, who have a fire, artillery denied, and a command confusion. So again, this is where they really need ambushes and stuff like that. So they're going to get rid of these 2 cards and just suck it up. And they're going to get 4 new. The Americans, 2 recovers, command confusion, fire, artillery request, and a move. So again, not a great deal for them. I know that we still have these guys that can come under fire from these. And again, even if they did, that's going to be 6, 7, 8. He's in there for 9, so it's a sort of a 1-to-1 anyway, without anything else. So what I'm going to do for the Americans is, like I said, I'd like to get rid of these cards. If I move him back, they can still fire, but there'll be hindrance and he won't be able to fire, so it'll be less. It'll be, what's the hindrance there? 2. Yeah, so there'd be 3 less firepower against him, effectively, yeah. I think he's going to be sacrificial. We're going to get rid of these 2 cards. We really want an advance. Okay. Germans had a fire and have picked up a fire, a rout, a move, and a recover. Okay, so we know they don't have anybody to rout. We know they don't want to move. And again, what they want is ambushes, because shooting this American's not going to really achieve a great deal. The Americans still can afford to lose 3 more units before they surrender, but the Germans can only afford to lose 1. So this is why this is so much more important to the Germans at the moment. Move this guy up and then just fire with these. That'd still give them 2 new cards, and that might be worthwhile. So let's do that. We'll move, machine gun up, and he's going to go... What's he got? 4. 1, 2, 3. That's as far as he can go. But it's a start. And then we will fire with these guys into here. So we have 6, 7, 8 into there. In fact, just hang on a tick. If we do our move with this guy, 1, 2, 3, he can see. Do the Americans want to fire? And I think they do. Yes. So the Americans are going to fire. this guy. And he's going to use crossfire. That's going to give him 6, 8. Yep, that'll do. Okay, so we're firing into this guy for 8. Plus 8 is 16. And this guy's here for 7, 8, 9. We have nothing. 9 and 8, 17. He's safe. Okay, so those go for the Americans. We've done our move. Now we'll do our fire. So we fire with the Germans for their second order. These guys are firing into here. So what it comes down to is, do we want to use our recover for grenades? We have 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think we will. As much as I dislike it, we're going to. So that gives us 10. Plus 8, 18. Okay. So we have 18 fire into here. And he's in here for 8. Plus 1 is 9. And the American has nothing to help. 9 and 7 is 16. It's not enough, but we have an American event first, which is deploy. You may remove an American squad, and if you do, replace it. I don't want to do that. So this guy is hit. That's it for the Germans, and they'll get 3 new cards. Okay, so the Americans now have 2 fires and 2 recovers. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to fire. And again, we're going to do this as a 2-stage fire into here. So we have 6 into here. With hand grenades is 8. Plus 3 for 11. And he's again in there for 10. Plus 7, he's fine. And the German event is booby trap. Place mines in a random hex. And the random hex is I1. Which is way out beyond anybody's really worrying out there. Okay. So he's fine. Now we fire with this guy. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 into here. But that's 10 minus 7 is 3. Plus 10, 13. And again, he's in there for 10. And 7, he's good. And we have a German event again, which is interrogation. Look at your opponent's hand. You may select 1 card there, place it in the discard pile. Okay, so the Americans have these 2 cards. Now, the recover would be handy to take, so this bloke can't recover. But I think it's more important to get rid of this ambush in case they pick up an advance. So that's what I'm going to do for the Germans. I think that's better. Because they really need a couple of ambushes. Well, the Germans really need a couple of ambushes is what it comes down to. The Americans can sort of get in there no matter what they want to do. Righto, so that's the first order for the Americans. And their second order is going to be recover. And again, this guy's in here for 9, and 1 is 10, and does recover. And that's it for the Americans, and they get 6 new cards. And the Germans have a fire, a rout, a fire, a move, and a rout. Okay, so the 2 routes can go. We'll keep the 2 fires. We'll get rid of the move, and hopefully we'll get something worthwhile. Because I don't think there's anything really on these that's going to help all that much. 3 new cards. For the Germans, okay, what did the Americans pick up? And they've picked up a move, a fire, artillery denied, artillery request, and an advance. So we will advance. And we will advance these 2 into here, like that. And do I want to advance this little fella? I think I'm just going to advance him into the smoke. Righto, so let's just put them there like that so we can see it. Germans, do they have ambushes? And they have nothing. They have 1 ambush. So, of course, they're going to use it. They're not stupid. But the Americans are going to take the ambush on him. Oops. The Americans do not have an ambush. Right. So, defender first. And he's in there for 5. Okay. 5 plus 6 is 11. Not great. Americans are in here for 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus 2. They only just did it. 12 to 11. He's dead. That's the German surrender level. 2 VPs for the Americans, taking them back to 13. And they've taken objective 1 back. And that is the game. Wow. I really thought that the Germans had a good chance until the Americans could get in close. And then having this well above average melee value, the +1 into it and all the rest of it, just really opened things up for them. Even their placement wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. They could have been spread out a hell of a lot more. So that is it. That's the end of scenario 33, which was pretty damn fine. So again, apologies for errors and everything else and pronunciation of French names, but I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. And take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.